Greetings, my little triglets. Today we are going to talk about section 5.3. And in our mathematical terms, we're going to talk about the ambiguous case for triangles. The ambiguous case, they call it ambiguous, meaning you don't really know what's happening here. It's kind of vague. So if you think about a triangle, and you know this angle and you know this side, and maybe you know something else. Maybe you know this side as well. But this side, we'll call it side A. If I only know those three things, this side A could be drawn like this. This angle A is still the same. This side is still the same, and this side is still length A. But which triangle are we referring to? The first one or the second one? The one that has an acute angle here, or the one that has the obtuse angle here? So back in geometry, you had side, angle, and so on. There was one that you didn't have, and that's the one we're going to talk about right now. It's angle, side, side. And I'm not going to write those three letters because your parents might yell at me. So right now we're going to talk about why angle, side, side doesn't give you one triangle, one particular triangle. It gives you two. All right, so let's go to the next page here. All right, so we have triangle A, B, C. That makes little a, little b, and little c. Let's say angle A is 37.4 degrees, little a is 11.6, and little b is 9.4. We need to find all the other sides. Now, there are scenarios here that we're going to write down, and these are really important. I will give you these, okay? You do not have to memorize. I will give you these on any test or quiz. So it's kind of complicated. You need to keep this in front of you when you do your work. Okay, so let's talk about the first scenario. If angle A is acute and side A is less than B, then you have three cases. The first case is you'll have two solutions if B sine A is less than A and less than B, or less than A, also less than B. Number two, you will have one solution if B sine A is equal to A, so equal to this length. And number three, you'll have no solutions if B sine A is greater than A. Okay, so that's the first scenario. Then we have scenario B. If angle A is acute, but A is greater than or equal to B, there's only one scenario under that, and you will have one solution. Okay, C, if angle A is obtuse or right, then you'll have two scenarios. The first one will be one solution if A is greater than B. The second scenario is no solutions if A is less than or equal to B. So you can see this is a lot of information, a lot of stuff you have to check as you're doing these problems. So you need to keep that written out and near you when you're solving these. All right, so let's test it right now. So angle A, first of all, it's acute. So I either have this one or this one. All right, now you look at A is greater than B. So that eliminates this one and it brings you this one. So I know I'm only going to have one solution. So you just go ahead and solve this as you normally would. Okay, now we are given only one angle and two sides. So we're going to have to do some figuring out here. So if I have sine of angle A, so sine of 37.4 over little a, which we know is 11.6, and then we can take sine of angle B, which we don't know, over little b, which we do know is 9.4. So that gets us the sine of B equaling 0.8892. You just cross multiply here and divide by 11.6. And then you have to do inverse sine to get angle B. So I get angle B, so let's write that inverse sine of 0.8892, and I get it to be about 62.8. No, back up. I'm doing the wrong problem. Let's back up here a little bit. I'm going to erase this. Oh, come on. All of this is, I was looking at the wrong problem. So when I do this problem, the correct problem, I get angle B to be 29.5. Okay, so angle B I'll put up here to be 29.5. Angle C, I just subtract A and B from 180, and I got angle C to be 113.1. Okay, and then to get side C, you have to do law of sines again. Now that we have angle C, I can say 113.1 divided by little c. Use that with this, those two, cross multiply and figure it out. I get little c to be about 17.6. Okay, so it's just the law of sines once you get going on that problem. All right, let's check, or let's test another problem. Let's say I give you angle A, it's 57.25. I give you little b, it's 32.48, and little c, we'll make that a. Little a is 30.72. Okay, so first thing we check is angle A is acute. Okay, then we say A is less than B. So you look at your list. If we go back a page, A is less than B is right here. So that means now we have to check B sine A and see what happens with that. So B sine A, let's see, that's 32.48 times the sine of 57.25. So B sine A is 27.32. Now 27.32 is less than both of these. So if I go back here, B sine A is less than both of them, then I know I'm going to have two solutions. All right, so two solutions. So we're going to separate this into two problems. This is triangle number 1, and this is triangle number 2. Drawing this, here's angle A, so 57.25. Side A is over here. Now I'm going to put an arrow on it because I don't know if it's going to hit here or if it's actually coming down this way to hit here. So side A is 30.72. And then side B is here, 32.48. And this would be angle B. So angle B is the ambiguous one. We don't know if angle B is this angle or this big angle over here, because we have two possible triangles. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down angle A, angle B, angle C, and then A, B, C. And over here, same thing, angle A, angle B, angle C, A, B, C. And now we'll fill in what we know. Angle A is 57.25 on both triangles. It's the constant angle. It's not the one that changes. Angle B we don't know. Angle C we don't know. Little a we know is 30.72 on both. And little a, or little b is 32.48. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is figure out angle B. Because we've got A, and B, we can do law of sines. So over here, I'm going to do sine of 57.25 over 30.72. So sine of A over A, and then sine of B over 32.48. When I cross multiply and do all that, this is where I got 8892 is the sine of B, and angle B came out to be 62.8. So right here, 62.8. So that must be the acute angle we just found. So this is that triangle, this is the skinny triangle. Now to get the other angle B, all you do is take the supplement of that. So what we have to do is take 180 minus 62.8. And that gets you the second angle B, and in our case it's 117.2. Okay, once you do that, the rest is basic solving. To get this angle C, I'm going to subtract these two from 180. So I got 59.95. To get this angle C, I subtract these two from 180, and I got 5.5. So it's very small. So it was this angle C or this angle C, depending on which triangle. Now to get little c, all you have to do is law of cosines, or sorry, law of sines to get both of them. So do it to both. I didn't figure those out ahead of time, but you should know how to do the law of sines at this point. All right, one more little thing. Let's say I have angle A is 71.4, little a is 45.3, and little b is 51.4. Let's say you're supposed to solve and you go right into the law of sines. So sine of A over A, 45.3. Sine of B over little b is 51.4. Cross multiply, you get sine of B is 1.08. Then you try to do the inverse of 1.08. But because this is bigger than 1, you're going to get error. Okay, what that means is there is no triangle. And in our summary, it's C2, the one that has no triangle, because it doesn't make a triangle. The sides aren't long enough. It's like this. Side A doesn't reach the triangle, reach the bottom. So you got to be careful of that. If you come up with an error when you start to do the law of sines, that means it wasn't a triangle to begin with. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be this. It just has to work out as an error if that's going to happen. Okay, so the summary you need to have written down somewhere, and keep that close to your heart when you're doing these problems. Speaking of hearts, we need to remember always, always, always. All right, ta-ta for now.